Riyadh, the beating heart of Saudi Arabia, witnessed a display of camaraderie between two powerful leaders. U.S. President Donald Trump, known for his unconventional approach to foreign policy, stood alongside Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The occasion was the Saudi-U.S. Investment Forum, a platform designed to bolster economic ties between the two nations. The year is 2025 and the global landscape looks vastly different. Yet, some alliances remain strong, forged in shared interests and a pragmatic view of the world. Trump, never one to mince words, showered praise on the Crown Prince, referring to him as an incredible man and a great guy. This effusive display of warmth signaled a clear departure from the strained relations witnessed during the Biden administration. It marked a renewed alliance, one built on the foundation of economic cooperation and a shared vision for regional stability. The optics were unmistakable. Trump and MBS, side by side, a united front against a backdrop of global uncertainty. The forum, a spectacle of international diplomacy and business acumen, buzzed with anticipation. A who's who of the global elite had gathered, drawn by the promise of lucrative deals and the chance to witness history unfold. Trump, a master showman, seemed to relish the spotlight, his every word and gesture scrutinized by the world. The message was clear. America was back, and it was open for business. This was not a meeting of minds focused on human rights or democratic ideals. This was about real politics, about securing America's interests in a volatile region. It was a stark reminder that in the game of nations, pragmatism often trumps principle. And for Trump, the bottom line was clear. Economic prosperity and strategic alliances trumped all else. This was the dawn of a new era in U.S.-Saudi relations, one where economic interests took center stage. The forum wasn't just about symbolic gestures, it was about solidifying the burgeoning alliance with concrete agreements. To that end, Trump and MBS oversaw the signing of a historic defense deal, the largest ever inked between two countries. The staggering $142 billion agreement was a testament to the Trump administration's commitment to bolstering Saudi Arabia's military capabilities. But the defense deal was only one piece of the puzzle. The Saudis, eager to diversify their oil-dependent economy, pledged a jaw-dropping $600 billion investment in the United States. This massive influx of capital was earmarked for various sectors, including artificial intelligence, infrastructure development, and energy. These deals weren't just about boosting the bottom line for American corporations. They represented a strategic move by the Trump administration to deepen its influence in the Middle East. By aligning American economic interests with those of Saudi Arabia, Trump aimed to create a web of independence that would cement the U.S. as the dominant power in the region. The sheer scale of these agreements sent shockwaves through the international community. Critics questioned the wisdom of such a close alliance with a regime known for its human rights abuses and its role in the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Yemen. With Trump, the ends justified the means. He saw these deals as a way to project American power, boost the U.S. economy, and counter the growing influence of rivals like China and Russia. Beyond the economic sphere, the forum also witnessed a significant policy shift on Syria. In a move that surprised many observers, Trump announced the lifting of U.S. sanctions on the war-torn nation. This decision, reportedly made at the behest of both MBS and Turkish President Erdogan, marked a major departure from the policies of previous administrations. Syria, once a pariah state in the eyes of the West, was now being welcomed back into the international fold. Trump's decision was driven by a desire to bring an end to the protracted Syrian civil war and to counter the growing influence of Iran in the region. By lifting sanctions, Trump hoped to create opportunities for reconstruction and to pave the way for a political solution to the conflict. This move was not without critics. Many argued that it rewarded the Assad regime, which had been responsible for countless atrocities throughout the civil war. Others expressed concern that lifting sanctions would only serve to strengthen Iran's hand in Syria. However, the Trump administration maintained that engagement, not isolation, was the best way to achieve lasting peace and stability in the region. The decision to lift sanctions on Syria underscored the transactional nature of Trump's foreign policy. He was willing to overlook human rights concerns and past transgressions in pursuit of what he perceived to be American interests. In his view, a stable and weakened Syria, free from Iranian influence, outweighed the moral imperative of holding the Assad regime accountable for its crimes. Trump's visit to Saudi Arabia was just one move in a complex geopolitical chess game. His Middle East policy, much like his approach to domestic affairs, was characterized by disdain for convention and a willingness to upend the established order. He sought to reshape the regional landscape by forging alliances, challenging old adversaries, and prioritizing American interests above all else. The centerpiece of Trump's Middle East strategy was a concerted effort to contain Iran's growing influence. He viewed Tehran as the primary source of instability in the region, accusing it of supporting terrorism, fueling sectarian violence, and destabilizing neighboring countries. To counter Iran, Trump sought to build a coalition of regional partners, including Saudi Arabia, Israel, and the United Arab Emirates. Trump's approach to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict also marked a departure from his predecessors. He moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, recognized the Israeli sovereignty of the Golan Heights, and presented a peace plan that heavily favored Israel. While these moves were praised by Israel and its supporters, they drew condemnations from the Palestinians and much of the international community. They also raised questions about the Trump administration's commitment to a two-state solution, long considered the only viable path to lasting peace. Trump's Middle East policy was a tapestry woven from threads of pragmatism, opportunism, and a healthy dose of unpredictability. He was willing to engage with strongmen, strike deals with adversaries, and prioritize American interests over multilateral diplomacy. Whether this approach would ultimately succeed in bringing peace and stability to the volatile region remains to be seen. However, it was moved out that Trump had left his mark on the Middle East, for better or for worse. Riyadh, the beating heart of Saudi Arabia, witnessed a display of camaraderie between two powerful leaders. U.S. President Donald Trump, known for his unconventional approach to foreign policy, stood alongside Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The occasion was the Saudi-U.S. Investment Forum, a platform designed to bolster economic ties between the two nations. The year is 2025, and the global landscape looks vastly different. Yet, some alliances remain strong, forged in shared interests and a pragmatic view of the world. Trump, never one to mince words, showered praise on the Crown Prince, referring to him as an incredible man and a great guy. This effusive display of warmth signaled clear departure from the strained relations witnessed during the Biden administration. It marked a renewed alliance, one built on the foundation of economic cooperation and a shared vision for regional stability. The optics were unmistakable. Trump and MBS side by side, a united front against a backdrop of global uncertainty. The forum, A spectacle of international diplomacy and business acumen buzzed with anticipation. A who's who of the global elite had gathered, drawn by the promise of lucrative deals and the chance to witness history unfold. Trump, a master showman, seemed to relish the spotlight, his every word and gesture scrutinized by the world. The message was clear: America was back, and it was open for business. This was not a meeting of minds focused on human rights or democratic ideals. This was about real politics, about securing America's interests in a volatile region. It was a stark reminder that in the game of nations, pragmatism often trumps principle. And for Trump, the bottom line was clear: economic prosperity and strategic alliances trumped all else. This was the dawn of a new era in U.S.-Saudi relations, one where economic interests took center stage. The forum wasn't just about symbolic gestures, it was about solidifying burgeoning alliance with concrete agreements. To that end, Trump and MBS oversaw the signing of a historic defense deal, the largest ever inked between two countries. The staggering $142 billion agreement was a testament to the Trump administration's commitment to bolstering Saudi Arabia's military capabilities, but the defense deal was only one piece of the puzzle. The Saudis, eager to diversify their oil-dependent economy, pledged a jaw-dropping $600 billion investment in the United States. This massive influx of capital was earmarked for various sectors, including artificial intelligence, infrastructure development, and energy. These deals weren't just about boosting the bottom line for American corporations. They represented a strategic move by the Trump administration to deepen its influence in the Middle East. By aligning American economic interests with those of Saudi Arabia, Trump aimed to create a web of interdependence that would cement the U.S. as the dominant power in the region. The sheer scale of these agreements sent shockwaves through the international community. Critics questioned the wisdom of such a close alliance with a regime known for its human rights abuses and its role in the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Yemen. But for Trump, the ends justified the means. He saw these deals as a way to protect American power, boost the U.S. economy, and counter the growing influence of rivals like China and Russia. Beyond the economic sphere, the forum also witnessed a significant policy shift on Syria. In a move that surprised many observers, Trump announced the lifting of U.S. sanctions on the war-torn nation. This decision, reportedly made at the behest of both MBS and Turkish President Erdogan, marked a major departure from the policies of previous administrations. Syria, once a pariah state in the eyes of the West, was now being welcomed back into the international fold. Trump's decision was driven by a desire to bring an end to the protracted Syrian civil war and to counter the growing influence of Iran in the region. By lifting sanctions, Trump hoped to create opportunities for reconstruction and to pave the way for a political solution to the conflict. This move was not without its critics.